Now in the Black Box. Whoa. With Spider Loke, Most Easty, a.k.a. BJ Keyway, and the Google Gang. Let's go!
Listen.
Cheetah. Gratitude is the attitude. Show is a blessing. To be back in the Black Box. Black Box.
Relax, roll up as we randomly react to content in these YouTube streets. Yeah. It's time for R&R.
Smack with Nip Hustle. Big shout out to my SPI, Spotter Low. You know I'm in the Black Box. Had to come through, tap in, show love one time. Yeah, y'all make sure y'all subscribe. Stay tuned. All that.
Oh, wow, they got me looking burnt out on the thumbnail. I just didn't feel like running it back. Oh, wow, 7C Street G's. As a young girl dad, man, I really appreciated the show One-on-One back in the days, man. But it kind of like, just the title kind of like lends to the idea that everything that glitters ain't gold, especially in the industry. Sometimes you think people is living a high life, success is abundant, and sometimes it is very temporal. Hate to see him going through this. I have no idea what this story is going to tell. I only know as much as you know at this point, just the title and the thumbnail. But with no further ado, let's see what Mr. One-on-One has been up to.
And Chris, you know, he gave me $350 so that I could take her out. Wow. He wasn't supposed to tell her.
That episode, that chapter of his life was something that he gracefully got to the other side of. This business has highs and lows, man. Rainy days come very quickly in this industry.
Sometimes it's like you can feel all by yourself.
While you by the fridge, grab me a Colt 45. No, hold on, man. You're supposed to be my boy. All right, I'm Flex Washington.
One moment, Flex Alexander is cruising along, feeling on top of the world, probably jamming to his favorite tunes, on his way to yet another audition. He's living the dream, right? But wait, in the blink of an eye, his world does a complete 180. Suddenly, he's got just 5 minutes to pack up his life, his family, and his kids, yes, the whole circus, and vacate his house. Talk about a reality check. So what gives? How does a talented black comedian and actor, basking in the spotlight and the adoration of fans, find himself on the fast track from Hollywood's glitz and glam to, well, nowhere? Is showbiz really that ruthless? Or did Flex miss the memo on the fine print? Join us as we dive into this jaw-dropping tale of highs and lows. Because if there's one thing more unpredictable than a game of Monopoly with your in-laws, it's the entertainment industry. Remember Flex Washington? The unforgettable single dad from One-on-One, right? He was the epitome of a cool dad, navigating the treacherous waters of parenthood with a mix of humor, style, and a tiny bit of panic. Flex, who was desperately trying to keep his teenage daughter Brianna from turning into an adult overnight, was basically every parent trying to use the internet without asking for help. With every attempt to set boundaries, it was like he was defusing a bomb that could go off with the word teenager. Remember him? How could we not? The role was one of the most successful in Flex Alexander's career, and he left his role with the series Girlfriends after just one episode so he could act and produce the sitcom One-on-One. One-on-One became a hit, but after 4 years, the producers decided to change the series' direction, focusing more on Brianna and her friends in college, giving it a younger vibe. The audience didn't take too kindly to the change, which ultimately led to lower ratings and, finally, the cancellation of the series.
Ray J.
Flex's character was written out of the series, and he found himself out of a job. That's when all the troubles started.
You making this money, right? The money stops, your expenses are here. So I don't care how much money you have, but when there's no money coming in to replace what's going out, and you're just going outsourcing, it doesn't work.
In comparison, Flex was no stranger to living on a limited income as a child, as both his mother and grandmother lived from paycheck to paycheck. But as a new celebrity, Flex was making $25K a week and was used to spending like there was no tomorrow. Flex forgot all about taxes eating away at his income. He earned
So he was making $100,000 a month doing that show. Yeah, that can create some habits, some spending habits. Who would know you have to be that frugal, man? Damn.
$25K and spent $25K. So his financial decline began. Money stopped coming in and the bills started to pile up. Things were getting more problematic for Flex and Shanice, who lived the best life during the one-on-one series. They refinanced their home, pulling more money out to meet the expenses, but ultimately sinking deeper into debt. And Flex had invested heavily in real estate, which was not working out. He said,
but it was just at the wrong time because that's when they were give anybody who wanted a loan could get a loan. Anybody. They were just going, and they were setting us up to fail.
Soon, the actor-comedian Flex Alexander would become homeless. Flex and Shanice were living the dream. They had their limitless black credit card and money was coming in. When everything went well, Flex brought home almost $1.3 million. But soon, the expenses got way higher than the money coming in. By 2006, things started going south. The world crumbled beneath them when the police evicted Shanice and their children from their home in 2010. Shanice had a show that night and was about to get into the shower when there was a knock on the door.
The fact that she's still with him, man, salute to her. A lot of relationships couldn't stand this type of blow. A lot of females would have had to go at the end of the show when he lost all the dough, but that proves she ain't no dirty hoe. Oh, my mama.
I had a show to do that night, and I was about to get in the shower, and I was rehearsing my songs, and I was in a great mood, and all of a sudden, that knock on the door was so loud, and they said, we had 5 minutes to get out. Yeah. I think that has to be like one of the worst days of my life.
So Flex and the family had to move out of their home and stay in rentals. I never had the training to handle finances, Flex told Yahoo Finance later. Even his co-worker and friend Kelly Perrine had a few words about his friend's situation. He said this:
I'll support Flex, I'll support my friends, whether or not they're high or low. That episode, that chapter of his life was something that he gracefully got to the other side of.
But no storm lasts forever. Flex and Shanice got gracefully over their financial trouble.
That's right. I'm happy for them, man. Thought this was going to be a sad story. It was just a story about the beautiful struggle. Oh, my mama, baby activity at its finest.
There were many nights when Shanice had to cry on his shoulder and some nights when Flex had to cry on her shoulder, Shanice recalled later. But they kept going on, Shanice said. Flex would say, come on, we got it. God's got a plan for us. We are not going to give up.
Man, that's right, man. I'm so glad to hear a positive story with a good ending. Black love, we can still believe in it, even though Papoose and Remy didn't work out. Behind the scenes, we see a couple go through their vows and live them out, better or worse, richer or poorer. That's what's up.
There was this one time when Flex felt really low. It was their anniversary and he had no money. Recalling that incident, Flex broke down in an interview.
And Chris, he gave me $350 so that I could take you out. Wow. He wasn't supposed
25 bands a week to not being able to afford to take your wife to eat. Yeah, for a man, that's defeat. 'Cause victory be sweet. I can hear it in his soul. Man, he passed it, and it still make him feel this way.
to tell her.
Recalling that moment was emotional for everybody. Flex was born Mark Alexander Knox. He was born on April 15, 1970 in Harlem. His parents were Alethea Knox and Robert Whitehead. And growing up in projects of the South Bronx as a teen was brutal. There was gun violence and drugs had invaded households with people selling them everywhere. Young Flex was quite a dancer and often danced the night away at New York nightclubs. His nickname Flex came from his time in dancing due to his acrobatic dance skills. Flex was not just a dancer. In 1989, he made his stand-up comedy debut. But even as a kid, he was a natural comedian. Young Flex used to hang around a lot in a barbershop in Harlem, in New York City on 125th Street, always cracking.
Did everything that happened in New York that mattered happen on 125th Street? Dang, it's like 125th Street come up in every story. Oh, my mama.
Jokes and making people laugh. He later moved into television and acting, debuting in the 1992 film Juice. Flex started in television with the sitcom Where I Live, but the series didn't last long. One thing you probably would not remember about Flex is his role as Michael Jackson in the movie Man in the Mirror in 2004. VH1 aired the biographical movie with 6 feet 3 inches tall Flex portraying the famous singer. Well, I guess Flex himself would not want to remember much about his role in Man in the Mirror anymore. It was just before Michael Jackson's criminal trial, so there was a lot of interest in the singer. Still, unfortunately, the lawyers ensured the movie didn't include any of Jackson's music, and it ended up being mocked online. Flex said later he knew there would be trouble when he went to the trailer for makeup and found that he had to wear a giant prosthetic nose for the movie. He said, "I was never going to wear that."
You know, I see the makeup. I knew it was going to be trouble when I walked into the makeup room and I saw the prosthetic nose. I was like, yeah, I'm not wearing that. I'm not wearing that.
Do you remember Shanice singing the 1993 hit single?
Dang, put the nose on, let him smooth the makeup around it, you're going to look more like Mike. I get that.
I Love Your Smile? Well, folks, one thing that went right for Flex was marrying the Grammy-nominated singer Shanice in February 2000.
I like your smile. That's that's hard, man. I like their story even more now.
And Shanice does love her man.
You're talented, you're fun, you're chocolatey, tall.
She even has her husband in one of her music videos.
Relax yourself, I'm gonna take care of you.
It's more than 2 decades since they first met while Shanice was getting off the elevator at her apartment building. But they are still very much in love. And you would not believe this one. The date she met Flex in the elevator, the 5th of March, is the same date their son was born. When asked what holds their marriage together after all these years, both answered a prayer. Shanice and Flex would talk about everything, which helped them to keep going when they hit rough waters a few years back. Flex said relationships are not perfect, as anyone in a long-term relationship would know.
She beautiful too.
In an interview, Flex said there were ups and downs, but we thought it was a ride or die for our children and us. We love family. We just kept pushing. We don't have all the answers, but trust God and keep praying. Every day we take it as it comes. We're just enjoying the journey and having fun. Besides Shanice, the other thing that kept him sane during his difficult days was his faith in God. Even when he hit rock bottom, he kept praying and believed God had a plan for him. Truth be told, they learned their lesson on expenses the hard way. Now they spend smart. Spend like no money is coming in, as Flex says. Flex Alexander is 53 years old and has a net worth of $5 million. So despite all the challenges, Flex and Shanice have come out of their financial blues. And their advice to all you newlyweds is,
don't give up and don't turn on each other, turn to each other.
Flex hopes that someday One-on-One will return to air as a reboot, as 90s and 2000s shows had a lot of success as reboots. But unfortunately, nothing official has ever been announced. Do you think they should bring back One-on-One as a reboot? Comment down below.
Hop on the interstate and chase me a bag. Pop bottles every time that I pass. It's that mafia swag, fly crippin'. You see me drippin' all this Max sauce. They Mac. Be about your money at all costs. Hop on the interstate and chase me a bag. Pop bottles every time that I pass. It's that mafia swag, fly crippin'. You see me drippin' all this Max sauce. They Mac. Be about your money at all costs. I'm from the land of the crack pavement. When niggas holler stay dangerous and squabble up just like Javante Davis. Niggas haters, they on lame shit. We be on that game shit. He thought he got away. I chase him down LeBron James shit. Blood stains from the stainless. He need a paramedic. And we play ball. Everybody around me athletic. Still stepping. Well committed. I stand on business. Every load I jump in, that bitch tinted. Won't catch me slipping. About my money low. Run me that bag. Call my bitch and say I need you. She gon' run to me fast. That mafia swag, she can't get enough. And she know I'm about my man. She let her sit and watch me add all this money up. Riders popping out the cut like roaches when the lights on. I'm just like BG with my niggas, whether right or wrong. Dead end mafia. You entering the danger zone. Tiny Macs be cracking heads. You better have your helmet on. Hop on the interstate and chase me a bag. Pop bottles every time that I pass. Just that mafia swag, fly crippin'. You see me dripping all this Mac sauce. Baymax. Be about your money at all costs. Hop on the interstate and chase me a bag. Pop bottles every time that I pass. It's that mafia swag, fly crippin'. You see me dripping all this Mac sauce. Baymax. Be about your money at all costs. These niggas be hopping out of foreign whips and feeling like they run shit. The homie like Nick Cannon. He a fool with them drumsticks. Serve him and they done with. Have all of them niggas hit. Something heavy in my Baymax sweater. You see the gun print. Yeah, got me bent behind tent. But I'm low key, give a fuck about the busters. The real niggas fuck with me, I move solo. Two pro clubs over polo. You won't catch me in none of you niggas photos. Y'all too friendly. Hopping out, spilling my Remy, smoking on good pressure. Always in a different load. Gotta keep these niggas guessing. Firearms in my possession. Steady counting my blessings. Believe in God and believe in this weapon. And try not to do too much stressing. Ain't seen my daughter in months. And when we FaceTime, I shed tears, I can't help it. And still connected in these streets just like Wi-Fi. Chucking up the set for death though. We gon' rip ride. Hop on the interstate and chase me a bag. Pop bottles every time that I pass. Just that mafia swag, fly crippin'. You see me dripping all this Mac sauce. Baymax. Be about your money at all costs. Hop on the interstate and chase me a bag. Pop bottles every time that I pass. Just that mafia swag, fly crippin'. You see me dripping all this Mac sauce. Baymax. Be about your money at all costs.
Nightblood Net Hustle. Big shout out to my nigga SPI, Spotter Low. You know I'm in the black box, had to come through, tap in, show love one time. Yeah, y'all make sure y'all subscribe. Stay tuned, all that.
It's the homie Cook-Up Boss, goddammit, Cub Low. And y'all tuning in to the Wake and Bake Show with goddammit the homeboy Spider Low.
Here with SPI, the realest nigga in LA.
Spider this bitch!
My nigga Spider Low. Spider Low, nigga.
Spider Low.
Spider Low.
Spider Low.
Spider Low.
Spider Low.
So Spider looks at me because we go back to the juvenile side of the county.
What the fuck?
My nigga.
Spider Low. Spider Low.
Shout out to SPI, that motherfucking nigga.
Spider Low, Wake and Bake. Better keep it Google, nigga.
Loke is in LA somewhere doing what he's doing.
In the words of Spider Loke on my mama's mama.
Spider Loke's gear. This is Bay Mac.
Nightblood, C-Mac. Shout out my Loke, Spider Loke, huh? Nightblood, on hood. It's a beautiful world. You fight me? Fight, craig.
Point blank, do no subliminal dissing. When I listen, I can tell you never been on no mission. Sticking to the script, don't care if I offend you. Neighborhood crib, the marathon
I overlook my competition, never seeing him. I done trained my mind that I'm going. You could tell by how I walk, talk, I'm a boss. A east side millionaire, homie, what you thought? My life is a movie. They can't get close to me. They mad cause they can't be. I'm everything that they wanna be, yeah.
You are now in the Black Box. Whoa. With Spider Loke, Most Easty, aka BJ Keyway, and the Google Gang.
Let's go!
Hey, yo, YouTube seems to think you'll love this video right here on your screen. So, yeah, won't you go ahead and click it and then go in the comments and let me know if YouTube is right. Cheetah